Our next inductee is Duane McDaniels.
As the 1960s were ending, Duane McDaniels was at the top of his game, and that game was motorcycle road racing. With immaculately prepared white Yamahas from his sponsors Twin K Sports and Fred Dealey Limited, Duane crossed the border from his home in Michigan and won the Canadian #1 plate 3 years running. Then in 1972, as quickly as he'd arrived at the top, Duane decided to move on to other sports, and we didn't see him again. It may have seemed abrupt, but in fact, his road racing career spanned a full decade by the time he retired. Duane started in competition even earlier, as an 18-year-old riding his Triumph at a local drag strip near Detroit in 1958. He eventually bought a 200cc Ducati and began road racing in 1962 at Harewood Acres near Jarvis, Ontario. Eastern Canada was a hotbed of road racing at a time when few such events were being held in the U.S., and there was a strong contingent of Michigan riders at every race. Duane rode at Harewood, Mosport, St. Eustache, and Mont-Tremblant. Looking for a more competitive ride, Duane moved to a 250cc Honda, then a Yamaha TD1B, all of which he still owns. His success was sufficient to attract sponsorship in 1968 from a local Yamaha dealership, Twin K Sports, and Duane was quickly headed for the top. He won the 125cc class at the Grand Prix of North America in 1968 and the Canadian Grand Prix in 1969, as well as the President's Trophy and traditional headdress in Bempsey's Indian Summer Trophy races. A call from Canada's Yamaha importer Trev Dealey brought the offer of full sponsorship for 1970, and the stage was set for Duane's greatest success. His sponsor's confidence was rewarded with a trio of Canadian national championships in the 125, 250, and 500cc classes after a season of battles with the who's who of North American racing at the time. Names like Dave Lloyd, Conrad Urbanowski, Sandy Douglas, Doug Teague, Frank Mrazek, and John Lysite ensured that Duane's wins didn't come easily. He also claimed Mallory Cups in the 125 and 250 classes, the Imperial Trophy, the Centennial Trophy, and the prestigious K-Don Award. Duane also raced in a pair of 24-hour production races, the first on a Triumph at Harewood during the old Airport Track's final season in 1970, and next at Mosport on a Yamaha where his team placed 4th overall and first in the 250cc class. In 1971, Duane won the 125cc class in the Canadian Grand Prix, his 3rd consecutive Indian Summer headdress, as well as Mallory Cups and national championships in the 250 and 500cc classes. Then he decided that was enough and moved on to sailboats, ice boats, and windsurfing. He still kept in touch with motorcycling friends and remains an avid rider on the street. According to his friend Doug Teague, another road racer of the highest order, the most endearing and enjoyable quality I recall that Duane always demonstrated was his enjoyment and support of the community of competitors that made up the sport of Canadian road racing. Duane always had a smile and an engaging story about everything and everyone who made up the weekends of racing we all enjoyed. Duane also enjoyed the continued support of his wife, Judy, whose commitment and dedication, even through some very cold and rainy weekends, was unending. For many years, the team of Duane, Judy, and Twin K sponsors Bill Crumple and Sil Kulaga were a dominating feature of road racing events in Ontario and Quebec. He also enjoys longtime racing friends as he routinely attends the annual Windsor Motorcycle Club banquet in January. I know that his days of Canadian road racing are very dear to Duane.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the Canadian Motorcycle Hall of Fame one of the best motorcycle road racers to ever compete in this country, Duane McDaniels. Making the presentation is Kelly Irwin, Foundation Vice President.
Let it all hang. Oh, let it all hang. Wow. This is really an honor. It's truly an honor to receive this kind of recognition for participating in a sport I love. To be included in a group with names like Ivor Lloyd and Yvonne Duhamel is an incredible honor. I owe thanks to many people who supported me. Number one on that list would be my wife, Judy. She was always there. She was my pit crew, scorekeeper, and everything in between. She frequently drove all night while Bill Crumple and I slept in the back of the van. Bill Crumple and Sil Kalaga gave me very fast and reliable machines to ride. I have been blessed with great sponsors like Twin K Yamaha and Fred Dealey Limited. I need to thank Dave Lloyd for hooking me up with Fred Dealey Limited. It was a great career move. Along the way, I've made many lifelong friends racing at great tracks like Mosport and Harewood. Some of those friends are here tonight. I thank you all.